This video is going to talk all about SEO for medical practices. Jumped ahead of me there. SEO for medical practices. Specifically, what I want to talk about before jumping in is the fact that a lot of medical practices aren't super familiar with SEO, and they view it as a black box, this unicorn that can't be understood. And before jumping in, I just want to make it clear that SEO is not a black box. Google has released documentation. There's data out there that shares, the right things to do and the wrong thing to do. The challenge is that when it comes to SEO, there are literally hundreds of activities that you can do to help increase your SEO performance. You can make your website more mobile friendly. You can write content for your website. You can optimize your Google My Business. You can focus on the technical side of your website, like the meta descriptions and title tags and schema and all these technical things. You can optimize your images on your website so that they're not as large of a file size, and you write alt text for your images. I could go on and on and on. There are literally hundreds of things you can do, but which activities are going to move the needle for your medical practice business? That's where people get stuck. They either try to do it themselves and they spin their wheels focusing on the wrong things, or they hire an external company who, again, doesn't focus on the right things for your particular medical practice. So let's jump in. And what is the most important? What is one of the most important aspects for medical practice SEO? And the answer is the Google Local Pack. So here is an example of the Google Local Pack. You've seen it probably thousands of times. Either typing in something like restaurant near me, or best restaurant in Portland, or dry cleaners, or dentist, whatever it is, you've searched locally, and people search for doctors locally. They search for medical practice locally. They might not always use the word, best medical practice in Portland. They might be using best doctor or best family doctor or best, whatever the particular type of medicine that best physician, whatever it is. They will be searching this way. They're sitting on their phone, watching Netflix with their spouse, or with their cuddling with their dog, whatever it is, and they are going to probably go on their phone and type in something like this and start their search here. And one of the first things they see is this Google Local Pack. The doctors, the medical practices that rank here, they win. They get the most traffic, the most phone calls, the most exposure, because this is the first thing that people see. Data has shown that roughly 50% of people are going to click or engage with one of these businesses that rank here, not below. And so how do you get found there? What's the strategy to get found in the Google Local Pack? One of the biggest things is your Google My Business profile. You likely are familiar with your Google My Business profile. It's free. You create it with Google, and that's what these little things are. There's a 0% chance that you'll rank in the Google Local Pack if you don't have a Google My Business set up. Google is pulling these results from all of the potential Google My Businesses that exist. So by location, right? If you type in medical practice in Portland, all of the medical practices that have set up a Google My Business in the city of Oregon are going to have the opportunity to rank here. There are obviously dozens and dozens of doctors, medical practices, physicians. So this is very competitive, and only 3 can rank in this Google Local Pack. And so how do you get found there? If that's the best spot to be on the internet, the beachfront real estate on the internet, as I call it, how do you get found there? And so it's the Google My Business profile is really, really important. And so this is the back end of a Google My Business profile. Google, when it's released its literature about how to improve SEO, it uses the word comprehensive over and over and over again. Provide comprehensive information to users. So you can change the main name of your business. You can change the main description. So here's a medical practice that is a naturopathic doctor. And so their main category is naturopathic practitioner. They also do all these other things. So these are all secondary categories. So if you're a family medicine doctor, your main category should probably be something like family practice physician. If you specialize in a very particular type of medicine, your main category should not be something generic like medical clinic. If someone's searching for a dermatologist, the main category should be dermatologist. Google is going to pull the main category first. So the fact that we typed in medical practices in Portland, Google's pulling up more generic type of medical practices, medical clinics, family practice, doctor. If you are a naturopathic doctor, you should probably have your main category be naturopathic practitioner. Other things to think about are those secondary categories. So you can add as many as you want. Try to keep it as crisp and clean within one thing as possible. If you technically, can look into some type of, whatever it may be, type of medicine, you shouldn't add 25 of them if you really only specialize in one. That's going to confuse Google. However, for other areas of your Google My Business, you can add your main description. You get 750 characters. So use those up. Talk about the main services, the main types of ailments that you treat. Talk about the exact type of person that can benefit from, are they experiencing GI pain? Do they have a sprained ankle? What does that person look like? Add all of this information to your Google My Business. Be as comprehensive as possible. And that will give context to Google, and Google will know more about your business, about your medical practice, and be willing to rank you over your competitors. There are dozens of other strategies that you can do to increase your SEO. We already talked about this. There are hundreds. You can read through some of them here, and you can optimize your homepage. You can write content. You can add schema to your website. You can embed your Google My Business on your website. You can focus on your title tags and meta descriptions and header tags. There's all these different things that you can do. We don't have the time to talk about all of those, so for the sake of this video, we'll talk about two of them. The first is NAP consistency, name, address, and phone number. This screenshot is directly from Google. It's from their Google SEO starter guide. They release a guide that talks about the best things and worst things to do for SEO. And as you can see, I've highlighted the word trust, which shows up over and over again. Google wants to rank businesses that it can trust will be the best result for users. If Google doesn't trust a business, it will not rank it, because Google's job is to give users the best results possible. And so when it comes to name, address, and phone number, Google scours the internet. It crawls the internet to find as much information as possible about your business. Google's smart enough to know that your Facebook, your business has a Facebook profile, and it has a Yelp profile, and it has a Bing account for people that use Bing instead of Google. It knows that you might be listed on these different doctor and medical directories like ZocDoc. Google's smart enough to figure all that out. And if your business name on your Google My Business is Dr. Jeffrey E. Leone, MD, but your business name on your website is legacyhealth.org, and your business name on your Facebook page is Legacy Health with Dr. Jeffrey E. Leone, these are all different business names. That's where the N here comes into play. Same with your address. Did you switch addresses and forget on your Facebook page that you forgot to update your new address? Do you have different phone numbers? Maybe you want to track the data and you want to know which calls are coming in from your Facebook versus your website versus ZocDoc versus all these different things. And now Google's seeing all this information as being inconsistent. Google's saying, wait, you have multiple phone numbers, you have multiple business names. We don't trust your business compared to the competitors. So having this consistent information is really important. This is a report that we can run to determine your visibility score based on some of these factors. And you can see that this particular business is struggling, and that's why they're not ranking. We found them ranking basically in position 50. We went to the maps area of Google. We went to page like 7, and they're not ranking. And they're not ranking well, and because of some of these things. The next idea and strategy is what's called is just writing content for your website. So these are examples of 2 clients that we've helped. And here they have started from, these are results from traffic from Google. So, not getting traffic from Facebook or people just typing in their website directly into the browser, but rather typing something into Google and having them visit their website. And you can see basically going from 0 visitors per month to 20,000 plus per month is what we helped these 2 clients do. And the main strategy that we used to get that was content creation. So if you're a particular type of doctor and you specialize in, let's say, naturopathic medicine, You want to answer all of the specific questions that users have. People type in things like, can naturopaths help with migraines? Can naturopaths help with GI issues? What would a naturopath recommend if I have a rash? If you answer all of these questions comprehensively on your website through long form, blog content, Google will see you as being relevant enough to rank for those keywords and to drive traffic. Not only that, but Google will see your website as more authoritative over your competitors. It will have more trust in your business. They'll say, wow, this particular medical practice has answered 100 questions that their target audience is searching for, and they cited scientific studies to back up their claims, and they did a great job answering these questions. We trust this business more than their competitors. So these are some these are some medical practice SEO strategies that you can consider. If you'd like a free SEO audit where someone on our team will actually go through your website, audit your entire business, spend an hour or so doing that, and give you the feedback and ideas to help your business, you can get that for free at portlandseogrowth.com.